What's good? I'm just kidding.
What's good, YouTube? Nappy here, back again, once again. And today, as you already know, I got that nigga CuddleofDeath with me, for this special Pokemon X and Y broadcast announcement.
Broadcast announcement, public service announcement. What's going on, guys? It's CuddleofDeath here. Yay, hooray, happy day! Whoa, I got really high. Woo!
I like how you got really high for that, then the woo was like, whoo! Like real low. Anyways, Anyways, we're here today to do a kind of like what we want to see in Pokemon X and Y coming this October. I almost said November. But
Worldwide.
Yeah, worldwide. We're kind of just going to go over a whole range of different things from previous generations, different Pokemon, different things that we've seen so far from the X and Y stuff that's been shown to us. Just a whole range of everything. Okay? Everything. So this is probably going to be one big ass video, but I guarantee you it's going to be good.
And one of us is probably going to end up looking like a big ass. So
Kristen! Anyways, let's go ahead and get right into it. First of all, Kristen, what is the number one thing that you want to see in X and Y that hasn't been done in Pokemon so far? What's the number one thing you want to see in X and Y?
definitely cooperative play, like online cooperative play. I want to be able to, jump in X and Y with Nappy and like go through a forest with him or something, for an example.
Thought you were going to say cotton field, but that's all right.
A plantation.
Yeah, I mean, cooperative play, that's something that people have wanted in Pokemon for the longest. That's definitely one thing that would take the game to a whole nother level if you could just do, or better yet, there have been games in the past, not necessarily Pokemon, but I've seen games that have had separate storylines, not storylines, separate modes for like single player and then cooperative play, where they have entirely different storylines for cooperative play. I mean, like for example, Far Cry 3 that just came out. They had a whole different single player, and then you turn around, you could get 4 people in a room and just go do a co-op storyline. So maybe playing through the actual storyline would be tits. But I mean, still, cooperative play I think is definitely an option that they should have in there, because I mean, double battles for days, yo.
Not just that, yeah, it's like, I don't, they obviously have the thing like the union room and stuff like that, but I'm not, obviously we're not just talking about battling each other, because obviously we have that online stuff already. That's great, that's cool, that's awesome. That's a big staple for Pokemon, is just seriously battling. But it's like, I think by this time now, I think they can step it up just a bit more, take it to the next level. We can go across cotton fields together, across plantations, through the Underground Railroad together.
Oh Lord. So the next Pokemon X and Y is going to be held in Deep South. So keep an eye out. There's going to be a whole bunch of jump pluffs and a whole bunch of fucking odyshes and shit down there. Whimsicots and all them bitches down there. Because that's where the next X and Y is going to be held at.
Yeah, not the first ones though. Sequels.
That's Pokemon X and Y 2. For me, I said this in an episode of one of my Soul Silver episodes. Actually, I don't know if it's even up yet by the time this is going to go up. But for me, character customization. If any of you guys have ever played Pokémon MMO, right off the start in Pokémon MMO, you can choose your character's skin color, you can change the color of their hat, all that shit. You can change their hairstyle, all that stuff in Pokémon MMO. So if Pokémon MMO can do it, then why can't fucking Nintendo do it? Why can't Game Freak get that done?
Because Pokemon MMO was developed by different people.
Well, I understand that, but I'm saying, if they can take the basic Pokemon ROM or whatever the fuck it is, and give you that ability on some side server shit, then how come they can't do it on the actual thing? I mean, how much actual space would that take up in your game?
Depends on how much customization. You know what? I actually have something to go off on right now. Okay, so we're talking about character customization and stuff. Well, think of it this way. In Pokemon Black and White, you could dress up your freaking Pokemon. So why can we get all these items to dress up our Pokemon and participate in these shows, but we can't change our hair color, our skin color, and clothes and stuff like that? Why? That just, now I'm mad. No, I'm not mad. Now, just like thinking about it, just really, really hit me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's so many other things that have already been added in the game that it would just make sense to me to have some sort of character customization.
Yeah.
For your co-op characters. Oh! Cupcake Days. Woo.
Yeah, I agree. I agree completely.
Anyways, moving on. Chris and I, we touched on some stuff, like how we haven't gone to a previous region in the game
For a
since
long time.
Generation 2. I mean, there have been cameos, like, I'm going to reference Soul Silver because I'm Let's Playing it right now, but in Soul Silver, once you go to Kanto, you run into Crash Awake and some other gym leader there. I don't remember her name. But, I mean, they're 4th gen.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they have cameos and crossovers and shit, but since Generation 2, you haven't had the ability to go back. And to me, I mean, that's like, having the ability to go back is like a continuation of the storyline.
Right, and we're not necessarily talking about having Pokemon X and Y, allowing us to go through all the regions and obtain all of the badges in each region, because that would be a really long game. Now, that would be still cool, and I'd be down for that. But I think, like, what I was more thinking of was just maybe something happens. Like, obviously, in most Pokemon games, there's some kind of calamity that happens, excuse me. And it's just like, I would love to be able to travel to older regions to see maybe how that disaster has affected them. And maybe we can still catch Pokemon from different generations there, not necessarily going and seeing Brock still there like 50 years down the road at Pewter Gym, because that would not work.
Well, no, they would have like his daughter or some shit there. Is it weird that I think Brock would have a girl? Is it weird? Cause I mean, like, I referenced Soul Silver again. Koga went to the Elite Four, and then his daughter or his niece or some shit runs Fuchsia City.
I think it's weird that you think Brock would have a kid in general. If you think of how it was in the anime, he could never get a girl. So
that nigga's gonna settle for someone eventually, okay? Even if it's a jinx.
Bryson.
Bryson, yeah, Brock and Bryson. Turns out Brock is secretly gay. Brock and Bryson are gonna go at it. So
not that we have a problem with gay people, because we definitely don't.
Moving on, Kristen brought up the idea of having like some sort of optional mission type of thing where like you can go do something for like Mr. Fuji and them niggas or some shit, and then he would give you like a TM. And you can only get that TM from him or some shit like that.
Yeah, and this might actually sound stupid to some of you at first, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a TM. It could be, an item for your Pokemon, like a silk scarf, or just something that boosts like a certain type of move, or an evolution stone, or just anything random. It just gives, in my opinion, it gives you something else to do in the game that makes it feel just more like, these are obviously optional things that you can do. That's not the main story stuff, and it would just be fun. It's like, you would have the option to do that. You go back and be like, oh, this actually sounds like fun. Let's do this mission. And maybe, it doesn't have to be a TM or an item. It can just be some sort of incentive to do it, whether you get like an achievement or something. Once again, that might sound dumb, but I think it would add to the game.
You can get achievements on Nintendo systems. Last time I played, before I traded my Wii in, this is years ago, and I know people are gonna hate on me for this. How could you trade in that Wii? It's the best ever. Didn't they give out like ribbons or some shit?
I don't know.
If you guys want to realize how long it's been since I've had a Wii, the last Wii game I played was Mario and Sonic at the Winter Olympics.
Wow.
So yeah. Anyways, so yeah, she's got her whole mission quest thing. I mean, I think it's a good idea. The only issue that I could see is how would they make it so that it's clear that it's its own separate thing. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of like you can. I'm trying to think of an example because I feel like that's been done before somewhat. Maybe not in the optional sense, but like I feel like there's been some part in the game where like you have to go rescue something for somebody.
Yeah, it's sort of like that. It just depends on what it is. And you've also been able to like go underground and dig for fossils and items and whatnot. I think was that in 4th gen games? I can't remember which games it was, but yeah, it was a 4th gen games. And I thought that was really cool. So if we can make even just random stuff like that, you can dig for fossils with your friends. And I know once again, like that can sound dumb, but it like gives that interaction there, and you can maybe only do certain fossil digging or fossil sites, we'll call it that. Sites.
You could do that in 4th gen.
You can't do it with your friends though.
Yeah, you can. You can go on the underground, and your friends can link up and all that shit. Pretty sure you can.
Is it online though?
Yeah.
Like online friends.
I'm pretty sure. If you guys know, let me know in the comment section below. But I'm pretty damn sure the underground in Sinnoh you can link up with your friends because you make underground bases and shit in there.
Yeah, like I remember that. Oh, yeah, that makes me think of the whole secret basing that you just touched on. It's like I remember you could link up and, go to their base and fight them, but at the same time they're not really there. You can't watch them walk around and stuff like that.
Maybe. I don't know. I know there's some sort of interaction down there in the underground.
Yeah, what I'm looking for is literally interaction. Like I want to be able to see them move whenever they push their left button and stuff like that. I want them to be physically, well, not actually physically there because then they'd be sucked in their game, but I want that person, whether they're in Australia, whether they're only a few states away, I want to be able to know that I'm literally playing with them.
You're asking for a whole lot right now, nigga. Just letting you know. Just
I
letting you
know, but
know. And
this is about what we want. So,
I understand. I understand. And Kristen is very, very needy. She also wants multiple endings and replayability. Replayability! Can you believe it?
well, I think Pokemon games, most of them at least, have a fair amount of replayability already, especially as they keep adding more and more Pokemon. The post game can always take up more and more time because you're like, oh, do I want to fill up my Pokédex? Or maybe I want to, get the original Pokédex filled up, whatever it is, whether it's the Sinnoh Dex, Johto Dex, or whatever, and then go back to the certain professor and get like a starter from a different region. They have stuff like that already in the past games. But if they did like these missions I was talking about, or if they even did something where you could have several different options, maybe it wouldn't necessarily change the ending, but it would change your route that you take to get to the ending. I think that'd be kind of cool. It might be
Maybe.
too complex
Maybe
though.
the only downside of that is because there's always there's set gyms that you have to go to.
Right.
And it wouldn't make sense like we were talking about you were talking about like if some event happened and you had to go to a previous region, like how would they account for the badges with that? Like, hey, I'm gonna get the first 4 badges from Johto, and I'm gonna head on over to Kanto, get the last 4, or some shit like that. I don't know, but I don't know. I mean, it's we were talking about this the other night, and to me, the whole multiple endings thing, it's a neat idea, but for me playing the game, I would rather just have one single ending and just be done with it. Because I think what ruined it for me was the game Heavy Rain.
Mhm.
Because that was back before I started YouTube, and I was like real heavy into fucking trophy whoring and all that shit. And I wanted to fucking platinum that game. I loved it, but that game is like 50 hours long. And if you miss one fucking thing, you have to start all over to get that fucking trophy.
I just
Stupid.
thought of something. It just popped into my head. Talking about different regions and stuff, and this is more than likely not going to happen anytime soon. But if we were even able to choose what region to start in, not necessarily play it through, like if you wanted to start in Johto, it wouldn't play out like gold and silver. But like I said, if there was this one Pokemon game that would come out and you can choose what region to start in, and there was still like a worldwide calamity, and you would still end up getting the same ending as everyone else, that might be kind of cool if you were able to go online and stuff like that too.
Mm, yeah,
It's
I
just
like
an idea. It's an idea, yeah.
I like it. I like it. I like it a lot.
But
Anyway,
I don't see that happening in the near future, so
you never know. You never know. If they can pull off character customization, then the sky's the limit.
yeah, I mean, I would just be really happy even with one of the things that we talked about, added character customization, uh more extensive online play, not just battling against each other, just cooperative, like we mentioned. Any one of those, if you add that, I'll be happy. Happier, I should say, because I love Pokemon no matter what they do. Just take my money. That's just how it is for me.
Garbodor is gonna get Garbodor is gonna get another evolution. It's gonna be called Dumpstermon, and you're gonna be happy then.
Yeah.
You lie! You lie! You would not be happy with Dumpstermon.
I would still be happy because, you know what? Every time they come out with the new generation or even a new Pokemon game, people are always so negative about it. They're like, oh, I'm going to quit playing Pokemon because they have a fucking ice cream Pokemon. I quit. It's like, okay, that's not going to get anything done. You're just being really negative. I'll still play no matter what. I'm not even going to lie.
I'm
Unless they just
just
like
I'm just mad they didn't have like if you evolve the ice cream at night, could I get like a Choclux or some shit?
a McFlurry.
Some shit like that. Why is it gotta be vanilla all the time? I don't get it. I
Oh
don't get it.
yeah, it's like racist.
Yeah, can we get a chocolate ice cream Pokemon? What the fuck? Anyways, speaking of the different Pokemon, another thing that Kristen and I were talking about are interesting type combos that we would like to see. And
Hi.
this nigga right here,
That's me,
yeah,
apparently.
yeah. You actually had a couple good ones.
Like?
Water, fire.
Oh my god. That'd be weird.
No, I wanted the water fire combination. Kristen says she wanted bug and dark and bug and dragon.
I would love a bug and dark and bug and dragon. I don't know how the dragon bug would come out.
A baggin. Bagon.
No. I really don't know how it would come out, but think about it. Maybe you just have like this prehistoric looking plant Pokemon that's like got these dragony-esque scales. And it's like no one wants to fuck with this big prehistoric plant Pokemon with dragon scales all over it. Because it's probably
I feel like it would be like a variation of Yanmega.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I said bug. I was talking about a plant. Wow, good. Way to go, Kristen. Yeah, probably would be like a prehistoric Yanmega.
That's what I'm thinking. Like it would just be a variation on Yan. Like just take Yanmega and add like Rayquaza to it. Rayquaza and
Ray Mega.
Ray Mega. There you go. Ray Mega. Yanquaza. That would be the bug dragon in 6th gen. That is the actual Z legendary right there.
Yep.
Because everyone's saying it's gonna be a serpent. Anyway, so I don't know. For me, I wanted water fire, and we were joking about the only thing I could think of was a teapot Pokemon because it gets hot. It's hot water. I was also thinking like maybe like an underwater volcano Pokemon because what's the evolution of Boldor?
Gigalith.
Gigalith looks kind of like a volcano to me. So I could see them coming up with a volcano Pokemon, not Camerupt, because he's a bitch.
Yeah. Oh, I like Camerupt.
I got a Magmar, I got a Step Up, see the Flower Witch, oh Camerupt. I don't know. I think having some sort of volcanic Pokemon or just something water fire. I mean, it's got to happen eventually.
Captain Planet?
What?
Captain Planet. Don't tell me. Oh my god. You've never seen Captain Planet.
No.
Well, other people. What?
I don't get the reference. What?
Captain Planet is an old show, and I know most of the people watching will understand it.
I know who Captain Planet is. I mean, it's not like I've watched all the episodes, but
I know just from the intro, how it starts off with all the different elements, and you're talking about water and fire. So I was just saying Captain Planet, Pokemon. Anyways. Probably cut number 56.
Anyways, water fire I think would be a great addition to the Pokemon. But again, it would be a weird combo. They'd have to have something that's perfect, and the only thing I could think of is a teapot. That's water that gets hot. So
a teapot Pokemon.
I don't know. They're gonna do. I mean, Rodham was a fucking refrigerator.
And a lawnmower.
And a
not a dishwasher. Yeah, he was. No, he was a clothes washer. It doesn't matter. He was a washer.
And a fan.
So,
I mean, if they could pull that shit off, then let's get a teapot Pokemon up in this bitch.
Well, yeah. I mean, we got an ice cream Pokemon. We got a trash bag.
Fuck it.
So, let's go with the freaking teapot Pokemon. Have a flashlight Pokemon and a clock Pokemon. And we already have Chandelure. For a nice little chandelier, so we are just going to be dealing with Beauty and the Beast pretty soon. So
might be some copyright issues involved there, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Moving along with the whole Pokemon theme. Another aspect that we touched on, and it's been really, really big. It's been a lot of rumors circling around. Is baby Pokemon.
Yes.
I've seen a baby Pinsir, a baby Heracross, a baby Drowsy. It's just
baby Drowsy was cute.
Is Drowsy cute?
Yeah, Drowsy's kind of cute. He's derpy, but he's cute.
Is Drowsy an elephant?
I think so. Or, yeah.
Then what's Hypno?
A weird child molester with a weird nose.
Then what's Donphan?
An elephant. An elephant.
Then how does Drowsy as an elephant go to a child molester?
It's just how Drowsy works.
Anyways,
there's a creepypasta on Hypno, but that's another topic.
Let's not talk about child molesting anymore. I mean, the baby Pinsir and baby Heracross, they make sense, but to be honest with you, I would rather see Heracross go the other way and get an evolution.
Of course you would, because he's already really freaking strong, and if he evolves, it's like game over. Competitive
If
battles.
Heracross, he's already a monster, but he's not like he's still like I view it in the sense of like he's a Hercules beetle, but let's go bigger with the Hercules beetle. Like let's get a big badass fucking
Dung
looking
beetle.
no nigga.
Dude, a Hercules beetle is a dung beetle already.
I just want like some big huge badass beetle Pokemon. And that would be fucking sick right
You
there.
could just roll a huge pile of crap.
Gunk
down
shot.
on-
Shit shot.
Yes, gunk shot. There we go. Now I could see a really like beefed up version of Heracross, definitely.
I think that would be the shit. Pinsir,
Speaking of dung beetles.
no pun intended. I think that'd be the shit. But I don't know. Pinsir, baby, I guess it makes sense. I've never really messed around with Pinsir that much, so I'm not familiar with him or his stats or anything. But
And he's a stag beetle, since we're talking about what types of beetles these guys are.
he's a loser beetle. But still, I don't know. I guess it'd be cool to see a baby Pinsir.
A baby one or a really big? Oh, big one would be creepy.
He's
It's already
already
creepy.
he's already creepy enough. He's got like all those little hairs all over his body. Not
Ew.
cool. Not cool. Not cool.
He's a hairy man.
I just
A hairy bug.
I just hope that they don't go and fuck it up like they did with Magmar, because that would be really really dumb.
Magmar went from having boobs on his head to like this really big belly and just like
They completely ruined Magmar with Magmortar. He's got pink on him. What is that? Magmar, he may have tits on his head, but he's a fucking badass still. He's a badass tit duck. But at the same time, you know, he was cool. He was cool. Magmortar, not so much.
I like Magmortar, but he's weird looking.
Let's see.
Magmar's cuter.
He's. We also went through the Pokedex. Oh,
Yes.
Pokedexes. And we tried to pull a couple Pokemon that have either been left behind or just singular evolutions and just like, what the fuck are you doing?
Miracle. Just kidding.
No, they can take him out
didn't.
for all I care.
He didn't make the list.
He didn't even make the list. That's how unimportant that nigga is right there. We went over. I'm gonna go through the list for you right now. You ready?
I'm ready.
Basculin, Quillfish, Skarmory, Mawile, Sableye, Carnivine, Shuckle, Maractus, Kangaskhan. That could be one that could have a baby Pokemon. Kangaskhan, Tropius, Durant, Emolga, Chatot, and Dredagon.
Can you say the steel type Pokemon again that you mentioned very early?
Skarmory,
Nope, before Skarmory. It started with an M.
Mawile,
Mawile.
Mawile.
I was like, what?
I could never pronounce it right, so I always just go for the stupidest one available and just hope someone corrects me. And CuddleofDeath fell for my trap.
Wow. I don't know if I could see, like, I love Skarmory. I love Mawile, whatever you called it.
Wow.
I love Tropius. I could see Baby Tropius. Baby Tropius would be so cute because Tropius is obviously like a sauropod Pokemon. It's just, I don't know.
It's
I like
Bananasaurus.
it. Bananasaurus Rex. But it's still a sauropod. Like, it's, if it were real, it would be a sauropod. So I could see Baby Tropius.
I feel like Tropius is the baby version.
Maybe. Oh my god, I could see like this huge,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because think about it. What is Meganium?
a sauropod.
He's basically. I'm looking for like the actual dinosaur.
Yeah, he's a sauropod.
Sauropod's a dinosaur?
Yeah.
I was just looking for Brontosaurus. But still, that nigga looks like a Brontosaurus to me.
What?
Same thing. You don't know what a Brontosaurus. How you gonna throw around Sauropod and not know what a Brontosaurus is?
Yeah, I don't know what that one is.
Anyways, Brontosaurus. That's what Tropius and Meganium remind me of.
But they're sauropods.
Either way, I think that Tropius is the baby version because Brontosauruses are fucking huge. They are massive. So I think that Tropius would be the baby version because, like, even in the anime and all that shit, Tropius isn't that big. He's not that much bigger than, like, trainers. He's only, like, 7 feet tall.
Let's
Max.
see. A Brontosaurus.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I was like, Brontosaurus. Okay.
So I could see Tropius getting an evolution where he evolves into this gigantic, huge, big ass. What's a Chiquita banana Pokemon?
You know what? I think maybe Tropius is probably a Brontosaurus, but I know that Meganium is a sauropod. Yeah, I could see that now.
So
I'm just
I
looking
could
at it.
see Tropius doing that. Kangaskhan, I don't see Kangaskhan evolving, but I could definitely see Kangaskhan getting a baby evolution. That I think a lot of people have been waiting for that for a while now, actually.
Yeah, definitely. But one of the ones that I definitely want to see, Sableye. I want to see him get an evolution so bad. And I know Nappy doesn't like Sableye, but I think he's cool.
I
He
never
was.
said I didn't like Sableye.
Oh, okay, well, let's pull up the Twitter logs. Not really. But anyways, I would love to see Sableye get an evolution. Or just like a baby Sableye. I like Sableye a lot. Baby Slowpoke, he said that's probably not going to happen.
No, baby Slowpoke is dumb as fuck.
No, baby Slowpoke would be so cute. I just want to poke its little belly and it would just like smile really creepily and slowly. But I want a baby Slowpoke. It's cute. It would be cute. Oh, we didn't think of Absol.
Kristen's justification for a baby Pokemon is I want to poke its belly.
And that'll smile creepily.
Can we get a Pillsbury Doughboy Pokemon? God damn.
But Absol. We've seen this thing circulating around the web, and it's obviously more than likely fake, of an Absol evolution. I wouldn't care if I saw a baby Absol or an Absol evolution. I just care about it being cute. And Absol's one of my favorite dark types. I would love to probably see him have an evolution, but if he had a baby Absol, I'd be down for that too, because it'd be cute.
I thought isn't Absol like pseudo legendary or some shit?
No?
I don't know why I thought he was.
No, because you can catch... Go ahead.
No, I know you can catch him outside Fort Tree City, but I don't know, for some reason there's something about Absol that was special about him. I don't remember what it was that like separated him from the rest of the Pokemon. I don't remember what it was. Maybe I'm thinking of something from the anime or some shit.
He's a dark type, but he's got white fur or silver fur.
I don't know what it is. But something about Sableye. I don't remember Sableye. Fuck Absol. I don't know. If Absol, honestly, I could see Absol never having an evolution. If he did, they'd have to give him 2 horns.
Or they'd have to make his horn bigger.
He could be a sword of justice.
No. He could evolve into like a freaking unicorn. I'd be so sad if that.
What if a giant furry unicorn? What if Absol just replaced Keldeo?
Okay, I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would. And before Keldeo fanboys and fangirls like, I love Keldeo. We don't like Keldeo.
I hate Keldeo. He's the worst legendary Pokemon ever.
And the only reason why we're saying that is because of that movie.
He was terrible in the movie. He looks like a McDonald's Happy Meal toy. He is terrible. He has terrible design, and if you hate me for saying that, I'm sorry. I absolutely hate Keldeo. He is not a sword of justice. He is not a musketeer. He can go to hell for all I care. I used to hate the legendary trio from Sinnoh. They were my least favorites. Oh, but then Keldeo came along.
Keldeo came on the screen.
I mean, I like Shaman more than Keldeo. And that's saying a lot.
Cute.
Shaman, no, little Chia Pet Shaman is retarded. The Sky form is cool. Shaman. The Sky form could be a better musketeer than Keldeo could. I'm ashamed. Yeah. I'm so ashamed. Water's my favorite type too. That's a water legendary. I'm so ashamed of Keldeo.
And now we just got off topic.
Anyways, I'm done with my Keldeo rant here. But yeah, another one we were talking about was Durant. And people, true story. True story. Kristen, the self-proclaimed, self-taught Pokemon master, self-employed Pokemon master,
Professor too.
CuddleofDeath did not notice the correlation between Durant and Heatmore.
I'm sure some people are watching already know about it, but obviously Heatmore is an anteater who camps outside of Victory Road Now Durant, this is for black and white, by the way. Durant is inside of Victor Goat, inside the cave, and obviously Durant is an ant. So you have this fire type anteater outside, waiting to just slaughter
The steel
a
type ant.
bug steel type ant. Yes.
And she just now got the correlation.
Yeah.
We've already played through it. We saw both them niggas in there. And she's just now getting the correlation.
I didn't think about it.
But anyways.
Please tell me I'm not the only one.
You are the only one.
No.
You are the only one.
Anyways, Durant getting an evolution would be cool.
The thing that Kristen said, it wouldn't tie in with the whole Heatmore Durant storyline thing that they got going on already. Was what if Durant evolved into a fire ant and it went from bug steel to bug fire?
Or what if it became, the ants that get wings later? Now this is like just a stretch and stuff, but this is just like a possibility. I don't know if it would happen. It'd be kind of cool. I don't care if he's a fire ant. I don't like fire ants, and if you guys have ever been messed with by one, they hurt. But also the ones with the wings too. I could still see him getting an evolution.
I think that's a good possibility. That could be the water fire right there. Heatmore. Heatmore's gonna evolve to counter it. Watermore. No.
Watermore. Wow.
The one that I think would get a really good evolution is Emolga. Not a baby type, an actual evolution. Because Emolga doesn't have shit, and it's really not shit as it is right now.
He'd be like a big flying squirrel. Huge electric flying squirrel. I could see that.
Maybe. Because, I mean, he looks like a first evolution, or even a baby Pokemon. So I think that he's deserving of an evolution later on down the road.
Yeah.
I feel like they just didn't get around to finishing his evolution. They're like, all right, sign it off, good, go.
Okay, let me tell you what I'm picturing. This really ridiculous, like, I'm on meth and have rabies flying squirrel that's drooling everywhere.
I'm on meth
fangs.
and I have rabies. You heard it here first, people. I'm on meth and I have rabies.
And it would just be like this really cracked out, menacing flying squirrel that Emolga would evolve into. I see it. The best way I could describe it is he's on meth and he has rabies.
I just pictured like Pikachu with wings, but yeah. Cracked out, methed out squirrel. There you go.
And he's got rabies.
And rabies too. We were talking. I think a couple other notable mentions would be Maractus. I think Maractus. I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it a she. I think she could get a decent evolution in Druddigon.
Yeah.
That Walmart rollback dragon. I think Druddigon could get a decent evolution. I think he could evolve into something pretty badass. Like a giant, like, ground dragon type. I get the feeling he's ground.
Like I just got put on the shelves at Walmart, so not quite ready for rollback yet. Yeah.
I feel like he would evolve into something that just got forgotten. And then you just stumble upon it, like, under the ground. Like what if you mated Stunfisk and Druddigon?
Then you would probably have this really ugly, creepy-looking dragon Pokemon.
Well, that fits Druddigon's description already, so we're good to go.
Yeah.
Anyways, rounding the home stretch on our list of things to go down. We've already seen a lot of stuff from X and Y. We've seen the trailer. We've seen the Shit 2 evolution. And
I like it.
Speaking of legendaries, what do you think the new legendary trio is going to be? What do you want the new legendary trio to be?
A bunch of monkeys. The Three Stooges.
A bunch of monkeys.
I could see maybe some monkeys.
They already have Pampor.
Legendary trio though.
But still, why would they duplicate that?
Gorillas.
That's what they need to do. They need to get a gorilla Pokemon.
Yeah, they need like a really they already have a gorilla Pokemon, but they need like
Don't tell me slacking.
That's what I was gonna say.
No, he's not
a gorilla, but
he's a sloth.
Oh. That's what he is.
He's a big ass sloth. They need like a big silverback Pokemon.
No. You know what? That's what they need. They need 3 legendary sloths.
No.
That'd be hilarious. I would love that. I could see like gorillas or like monkeys or cats.
See,
big cats.
Well, they already did dogs. That would be kind of. I think if they did cats, that would just put all the upset people over the edge because it would automatically compare it to second gen.
Let's see. Well, we have dragons, birds, dogs, if you want to call them that. Some people just refer to them as legendary beasts. We have a bunch of dragons, actually. Another one I'd like to see is another ghost legendary.
Well, you see, I was gonna say, do they have to be all the same thing? But then I thought of third gen. Well, no, because third gen has Regice, Registeel. Never mind. I was thinking of Kyogre, Groudon, and Rayquaza. Because that's my thought process is like land, sea, and air. Because what I'd like to see, we were talking about gorillas. What if we had like a ground grass type gorilla, legendary, and then what if we had like a water shark, like not like Carvana. I'm talking about like a mean, big, badass like Kyogre sized shark, and then you have to get something to put in the air.
A megalodon. That's what we need. A megalodon, not a shark.
Yeah,
Megalodon.
Motherfucking megalodon. Let's go. Yeah. Woo! And he eats the Tropiuses.
Oh.
I mean, that would be like a big ass megalodon, a super gorilla, and then something in the air, a Hindenburg Pokemon, or some shit. I don't know. I think
big stork drops babies on your head.
I think that would be the shit. I think that'd be the shit if they had something like that. But that's not necessarily along the lines of the legendary trio. So I don't know. Like you said, it would have to be something like either cats,
gorillas. I mean, there are, honestly are endless possibilities, in my opinion, for like, because like think of it. If you look at third gen, you look at the Regis. It's like those are very weird. That's like a very weird trio. So if they can come up with something like that. They can definitely come up with something like that again that completely catches us off guard.
Aren't they like modeled after like some statues and some shit? Like they're a megalith or something? They're modeled off of something. Like they're not just some weird out there type thing.
But it's not something that, someone like us would probably just randomly think of, like, oh, they're gonna make like fucking Regis again or something like that. You just don't think of, whenever you look at those, if you were just trying to think of legendaries, you probably think more of animals or reptiles, birds, stuff like that, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I think that would be interesting. I don't know.
Have like rats, legendary rats.
Legendary rats. Oh my god! All right, next topic. Next topic. We're done with rats now. I mean, we were sitting there thinking of the legendaries, and we kind of already went over the third legendary himself, because we already have Xerneas and Yveltal, and we were saying that we'd have a combination of fucking cracked out snake, or not the fucking cracked out snake, fucking cracked out flying squirrel and Dredagon, and that would just be some super mega in the sky bitch. I don't know. There's the whole speculation of him being a serpent in the form of a Z, but I think that, to me, that'd be a cop-out.
Why is that?
Because that's just too easy. That's too easy. It's already too easy for them to get Y with the big-ass bird. X is the most, like, abstract form of X out there for Xerneas, with the antlers and the feet. I think that's really, they did a good job with that. If they just make, like, another Rayquaza-looking motherfucker up in the sky.
With a broken back. He's gonna have a broken back so that there's that little Z shape comes out.
Yeah, broken back. I don't know. I think, but honestly, I think that might be the only way they can pull it off, because it's got to be something that can move its body like that.
Yeah, a serpent.
Or they could have a fucked up deer with a broken back, like you said.
Rayquaza took after this big serpent legendary in the sky and like chewed him up and fucked up his back, so now he's in the form, or like in the shape of a Z. He's been like that for so many years that part of his back is like hardened up, and then he's got like this beard, like he's a bearded dragon, he's a bearded serpent. He's gonna look like a Chinese dragon.
That would actually be a good spin-off. I could see them trying to swing it that way. Like he lost a battle with another legendary sky serpent, and then everybody will go crazy. Oh my god, it's Rayquaza! It's Rayquaza! They're talking about Rayquaza!
But we also have to think of this too. Like, obviously this is something that we haven't really discussed, but obviously Genesect, the new Mewtwo, X and Y, they all have to deal with DNA. So it's like we're sitting here thinking of this, we still think it's probably going to be a serpent, but at the same time, there's a lot of weird stuff. And I say weird because it's like we're going back to the whole Generation 1 DNA stuff with Mew and Mewtwo. But now, with the whole Genesect coming into play, you really don't know. I mean, maybe we won't get that serpent legendary. It would be kind of cooler if there was some kind of, not necessarily like a messed up experiment, because that, Mewtwo is there, but something else. I just want to see, I really want to see them play into this DNA stuff, essentially. That's what I want to see.
Maybe. I don't know. Speaking of the new Mewtwo, you said you like it.
Yeah.
I'm on the other end of the spectrum.
Right.
I do not really care for the new Mewtwo form. I think that Mewtwo was perfectly fine as it is. Mewtwo is supposed to be perfection. He is the strongest Pokemon out there. This is the motherfucker that hypnotized all the rest of the motherfuckers and took control and made clones of them. That's that nigga right there. And
Now
you're trying to tell me that...
on his head?
Yeah, now he's got his ass on his head. And now you're trying to tell me that he can't take on Genesect? Like, come on. Let's go back to the first movie, way back to the first movie, and put Genesect in there. Mewtwo would have made a clone of that bitch and had the clone kick his ass.
Honestly, look at Genesect, though. What do you think about the way that Genesect looks? I think he looks really menacing.
I mean, he's made to be the bad guy. That's just his appearance. But I mean, he was made by Team Plasma.
Well, at the same time, though, it's like, just, I don't know. He's very menacing, and I am really interested. Something we haven't really talked about is the potential new type, and how, the new Mewtwo form, I mentioned it in my video, like, it could take on this new type if it really does exist.
If this new type turns out to be Fairy, which I think Fairy is just like the easy peasy translation from Japanese. Somebody left a comment on your video saying that it might be light.
Right, because like dark is evil or something, and fighting is like hero.
I don't see it happening. Okay, stop. I don't see it happening with Mewtwo. I see it being a possibility because Yveltal's dark, and then Xerneas could be light. I could see that correlation going on there, but for Mewtwo, no. Definitely not. I think it's going to stay psychic.
Maybe if it does, but the stats will obviously the stats are going to change. You're probably going to have like, maybe it's going to be faster, maybe it's going to be more specially defensive, something like that. But I don't know, they're just doing so much. I really, really hope to see lots and lots of DNA stuff, so maybe they can come up with this crazy DNA created serpent. We don't know, but it would be kind of cool.
I don't know. I hope they just... I wish they would never touch Mewtwo. That's all. That's my childhood you fucking with. It's crafty. The new type... Speaking of the new type... Sylveon. Do you think it's going to be light?
I think it's going to be whatever the new type is called, definitely.
So you think they're hinting towards it with that?
Yeah, and there are a few reasons for this. Number one is obviously its official typing hasn't been revealed yet, but it's like the way that they're acting about it. I could just see looking at Sylveon, it just seems like a new type to me. And I didn't think of it at first. I thought, maybe it's just normal. But recently I also talked to you about the Genesect movie trailer, and I linked you a push a while back and talked about its little border, which could just very well be a border. It's like an eggy-shaped border, but at the bottom right-hand corner of it, even though it's not rigid, doesn't really have a corner, but in the, the bottom right-hand spot, there's this little wing, and it looks more, it doesn't, I don't think it's going to end up flying, just based off of how it looks. Nothing is very indicative of being flying. I just look at it, and I see something else now than what I did before. I don't see a normal type, and I don't see a flying type. I see a new type, which, would be kind of cool since we haven't gotten a new type since 2nd gen, so I see it being a new type.
I do too. I think light would play perfectly into, because the new type we got in 2nd gen was dark. But at the same time, we got 2 new types in 2nd gen, so you think we're going to get 2 new types this time?
No, there was another scan going around of another evolution, but I don't think it was real. I think it was completely fake. So I really don't think we're going to get two new types. Because one of the reasons we got two new types was to balance out the original types.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, when they had second gen, they like do a whole bunch of previews and crap because they introduced the new dark type, and we got Umbreon out of it. But Espeon isn't new. That's not a new type.
No, it's not a new type, but at the same time, it's just like they had a chance then and there to add two new evolutions, one of them obviously being dark, and then Espeon was just like, it's like you had yin and yang, pretty much, with Espeon and Umbreon.
Well, then why wouldn't you make a light type then? That would be more yin and yang than psychic and dark.
I know, but it's been, I mean, several generations since second gen. It wouldn't necessarily just to balance it out. Like to balance it out by using the light name, obviously because you have light and dark.
So
So
then, so then going off of that, every single time we've gotten a new evolution, we've gotten two. So you don't think it's a little odd that we get just one this time around?
it would be odd, but at the same time, maybe it's just something different,
Are there
which would be kind
any?
of cool.
Are there any? Well, of course there are types. What types haven't received an evolution yet?
Bug, steel, fighting, flying. What else do we got? Bug, steel,
Ghost.
fighting, flying, normal, ghost.
So I mean that could be another possibility because in second gen we got a new type and then an evolution of a type that already existed.
Right.
So we could get the light type evolution and then bug type.
That'd be funny. I'd like a steel type.
BV.
Yeah, BV.
I don't know. I mean, I think that was the number one thing that I saw when they announced Sylveon first. I always thought that it's kind of awkward they only have one. So I think that because they always come out with a pair. So I think that we may have another evolution coming. If we don't, it's gonna be awkward in my opinion, but still.
Honestly, because of how they've been presenting Sylveon, I think we're only going to get one evolution.
Maybe.
Because just like based off of the movie trailer, how Sylveon's presented in that, and everything that they've shown about Sylveon so far, I honestly just think we are getting only one evolution. I don't think there is going to be a possibility of a second one.
Well, you mentioned fossils earlier.
Hmm.
I know this is completely left field, change of topic. You mentioned fossils earlier. What do you see for us getting in the way of fossils for X and Y?
Okay, so far we've had our fossil types obviously have been rock and something else. We've had rock flying, rock water. In first gen, we had two water rock, and then we had rock flying in first gen. Second gen, who do we have? Who did we have in second gen? Oh my gosh. Did we still have our? I think we just had the normal fossils that we had in first gen.
Yeah, they didn't have any new fossils. You didn't get a new
Okay.
fossil in second gen.
And then in third gen, you had, was it grass? Or is Cradily bug or grass?
I think it's bug.
Grass. No, it's grass. It's grass. So we had grass, rock, and then Armaldo was
He's ground.
bug. He was bug rock.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he was bug rock, and Cradily was grass rock. So fourth generation, we had, oh my gosh, fourth gen fossils. Who were they?
It's Bastion and Rampardos.
Rampardos was.
It's Cranny something and then Rampardos. It's the Skull Bash Pokemon.
Was he steel? He was
No, Bastion was steel. The Triceratops smash head looking one.
So we had then the other one was literally just rock. Sorry about that. My dad texted me, but the other one was literally just rock. The Cranidos' evolution. So
Rampardos.
yeah, Rampardos was just rock, which was interesting. So this time, oh yeah, sorry, fifth gen. Fifth gen was
Archeops, and then Tortuga and Caracosta.
Yeah, okay. So we had another water rock, and then we had flying rock. So this time around, I guess the possibilities are kind of like, once again, just opened up for a bit. I would like to see, of course, being a fan of dark, I would like a dark fossil. I think that'd be really cool.
I don't see how they would tie that in though. To be honest with you. Unless you had some sort of like team whoever interference again, I don't see how you could have a dark type Pokemon, especially if it wasn't before second gen.
Mm, I don't know, because if you think about the third gen ones, they were kind of random as well, but they were in the desert.
No, but the way I'm saying is technically dark didn't exist before second gen. So if these fossils are just millions and millions of years old,
But dark was just a new type that was discovered that could have been around for a bit, if you think of it that way. Because we've had a steel fossil already, and steel was introduced in second gen. So
well, yeah. Okay. Um, fire. If you could revive an ancient Heatmore.
oh, that'd be cool. Like, yeah, I could see that. I would love a fire fossil because we've had water so far. That would be cool. Or like an electric fossil. That'd be weird because that'd be a rock electric type. But
It would be a hard story to twist though.
I don't know. I'm gonna root for dark, a dark
I'm rooting
fossil.
for fire. Ha! Just
Yeah,
split
definitely.
Houndoom down the middle. Anyways,
We
so
did.
yeah, that covers the fossils. I think that's one area that people haven't really even discussed that much at all. I think fossils don't get a lot of love, to be 100% honest with you.
Yeah, I
I
like
think I
fossils.
think Armado's the shit. He's my favorite fossil. Armaldo.
Oh God, my favorite fossil is probably either Aerodactyl or Archeops. Archeops looks derpy though, but
I don't know.
Aerodactyl.
I like Caracosta. I like his name, Caracosta.
Caracosta.
I like him. I like Armaldo. Cradely's kind of cool. Aerodactyl, he's classic. I was never really a huge fan of Amistar or Kabutops. Um, who am I missing? Though the fourth gen, I thought fourth gen fossils were terrible. I didn't like either one of them. So I like third gen fossils the most, and then um, Caracosta and Archeops. I like those. But anyways, the last item on the agenda for today is the most obvious one that we've been dancing around the entire time. The starters. Fennekin, Froakie, Chespin. Who you going
Hmm.
with?
I want to go with Froakie, but I think that's your favorite too.
High five, Kristen. That's my nigga. Ah, yeah. Happy day, nigga. Happy day. Froakie, I am so hyped for. I hope they give him this huge, big, fat frog toad, like Blastoise's distant cousin looking dude. That would be amazing. I think that would be sick. I hope that they don't make him water ice. I think that would be kind of stupid, to be honest with you, to have a
Honestly,
water ice starter.
I kind of want him to be water ice.
I think that's kind of stupid, in my opinion.
I don't
Because
know.
if they did that, then they could never have a Dragon Gym. If they just give you
Well,
the ice Pokemon to start with.
no, because then you might choose a different starter.
Well, yeah, but if you have a Dragon Gym, the ideal choice then would be to pick the ice starter. Because then you're just set and you're training that thing all the way up to take on the Dragon Gym. See what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I mean I don't know. I think in my opinion I think that's a little lame. I think the types are too similar. To be honest with you, at the same time I can't see what else he could be, which is kind of sad. So I don't know. I don't know.
People are saying dark or fighting for Froakie. And they're saying things like, obviously, another firefighting starter. Um, like Finnegan. I hope he's like, I would like to see him be fire and psychic after he evolves. That'd be cool.
Have they ever had a fire psychic? Chandelure. Never mind.
He's
Oh,
not
is he ghost?
psychic.
He's
He's
ghost.
ghost.
They've had a fire psychic before.
Yeah, they've had a fire psychic. Who is it? I know it's like probably on the tip of my tongue. It's I'll get this. I'll get it. A fire psychic Pokemon would be who is it? I don't know. Victini! But he's not a starter. I hate
In,
Victini.
insert faggot comment here. And for all you get offended, I apologize, but I hate Victini just as much as
Yeah,
Keldeo. Fire Psychic, they have had a Pokemon before. I can't remember who it is off the top of my head either.
Victini.
Yeah,
I think that's it, maybe.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. I feel like it's not, but maybe. Um, Chespin, I'm really not interested in at all. I think that Bulbasaur, Venusaur, Ivysaur, sorry, Ivysaur, Venusaur, and Chikorita, Bayleaf, Meganium, nothing will ever beat them.
Darmanitan Zen form is the other fire psychic, but that's it. It's just Victini and Darmanitan Zen form.
Boom, there you go.
Yeah, sorry, I was not resting on that. I had to look. But I don't know. I'm kind of interested in Chespin. I'm actually interested in all the starters, and I think
I think if anybody was fighting, I think it's going to be Chespin. But I think Chespin might have the chance to be either grass and ground or grass and steel.
I'm thinking grass and ground, and it's like, I don't know. Depending on certain things, I may not get to choose Froakie as my starter. So
I don't know. I'm definitely Froakie is definitely normally in the past I've had like if you go with the classic first gen, you're always torn over who to pick. Second gen again, I'm torn over who to pick. But with these new 6th gen Pokemon, I'm confident with who I'm picking. I'm going with Froakie probably 100% of the time unless some twist of fate happens and I end up not choosing him.
If you're going with Froakie, I'm not going with Froakie. That was my deciding factor.
I'm going with Froakie, so I'm sorry,
Okay.
Kristen.
So it looks like I'll probably be choosing Chespin because, based off of looks, because people love the looks of their Pokemon, they're going to go for that cute little motherfucker Finnegan most of the time. He's going to be chosen so much, so I'm going to go with Chespin then.
I don't know. I think the only thing that would get me to choose Fennekin would be its final form. I would have to see its final form in order to make the decision. So I don't know. But I think we've thoroughly covered. Well, I'm sure we missed one or two things, and someone's gonna point it out in the comments. They're gonna say, "Oh, you didn't talk about this," and we'll be like, "Fuck, we didn't." But we've thoroughly covered a lot of X and Y so far.
I was thinking the only other few things out there are like new moves, which we can't even probably predict. If we get a new type, obviously we're going to be seeing new moves suited for that particular type, because otherwise, why would you have a new type and not have stab, which is same type attack bonus, so you're going to need some new moves.
Oh yeah, you get new moves every generation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You get new moves every generation. Purrid. But I mean, yeah, new moves.
New moves, maybe new type. We've touched on the starters. We've touched on fossils. We've touched on the potential third legendary. We've talked about the legendary trio and what we think they could potentially be. What else? And we've talked about mainly what we wanted. Nappy really would like to see character customization. I know a lot of you would as well as I would too. I would like to see cooperative play, maybe some missions. Wow, it's storming there. Maybe some missions. Maybe more options in the game to choose a different path, not necessarily going to different regions, but if we did get to go to different regions, great. We've touched on a lot of stuff in this entire video. So
there it is. That was the point. So let us know what you guys think of anything that we covered at all. Or if you want to give us comments on everything. Either way, let us know if we forgot anything either. I'm sure the both of us will be patrolling the comment section. We're going to be patrolling the comment section. So we're definitely looking for feedback from you guys. Let us know what you think. And like I said, if we missed anything, let us know what you guys want to see in X and Y as well.
And obviously, these are just our thoughts, what we want to see, speculations, and it's just like we're only going off of what we've seen so far, which isn't even a lot about the game. We've only seen the new Mewtwo, Sylveon, and that's pretty much it, and the starters, and that's it. Honestly, we're just probably gonna speculate more as more episodes of Pokemon Smash come across and Koro scan leaks, but that's all we got right now. Let us know what you want to see, and whether it's X and Y or upcoming Pokemon games. What do you guys want to see the most, more than anything, or just talk about any of the stuff that we've touched on, like Nappy's already said. So
boom, there it is. Boom. So if you all enjoyed the video, please remember to hit that like button down below, and as always, people, thank you for checking out the video.
You. I love you guys.
You know me, YouTube. Nappy192.
CuddleofDeath. We're out.
I'm out.